running type of quarterback. You think they'll kind of stay where they are? Or do you think they'll at one point maybe become the majority in the league?
It's hard to tell, Jerry. We've seen some guys come and go, and we've seen guys come and just be superstars. So, I think by that time I'll be long gone anyway. So I'm just going to keep playing the game the way I know how. And, but what these guys are doing is pretty impressive.
Mike Pursuta.
Ben, do you consider yourself a running quarterback after last Sunday? And as you evolve, getting back into it here, do you see more success so far when the ball's coming out of your hands quick?
I've always seen myself as a running quarterback. My eyes are just always downfield because I'd rather throw it than run it. I always say I just run for my life sometimes. But, I think you have to play the game within the game. Sometimes the ball's got to get out of your hands quick. Sometimes you got to hold it and take shots. We rarely do we go into a game. I won't say never, but rarely do we go into a game saying, okay, get the ball out of your hands as fast as possible and things like that. We do say, let's get the ball in the hands of our playmakers. That doesn't always mean it has to be fast, but you want to get it in their hands. Sometimes it's down the field. Sometimes it's shorter routes. So really kind of each week and each game plan dictates a little bit how the ball comes out and how fast, I think.
Mark Caboli.
Ben, I know you've been doing it for some time now, but going from the pistol, shotgun, why do you like that, and why is that beneficial to what you guys want to accomplish on offense?
Really it's just a matter of the play call, whether it's pistol, shotgun, under center. There's no real rhyme or reason. I mean, I think there's certain things that are set up that look the same. So you want to have plays that look the same, whether you're in the shotgun, a pistol, under center. But I don't come in here on Wednesday and say, hey, let's go shotgun every play. It's just the way that the game plan is installed.
Jeff Hathorn.
Ben, there have been some changes, obviously, to the right side of that offensive line. Now you get David back. But what did the performance that Chooks had on Sunday do for your confidence in him? And do you see this line kind of arrow pointing up?
I've always believed in him. I knew coming into the season that it was a really good battle between him and Banner. And so, in my opinion, you couldn't go wrong. I think both of them are great players that put a lot of work in. And we've seen Chooks in the past play, whether it's been extra tight end reporting or playing tackle. So we, and I specifically, had a lot of confidence in him. And the rest of the guys up front do too, because they have to believe in each other because you're working so closely with that guy next to you. And to have Dave back on All-Pro, I know that helps Chooks. It helps make Pouncey feel better. I feel better with it. So I think that group is just continuing to get better.
Brooke Pryor.
Ben, do you remember at any point in your career having a week kind of as uncertain as this one? I know the plan right now is to proceed as if you're playing Sunday, but does this remind you of anything in your career? And how do you guys kind of navigate this week with everything still a little bit up in the air?
We just focus on what we can control, and that's preparing for the Tennessee Titans. Like today is a normal in-season Wednesday, and the rest of the week has to be that way as well.
Dale Lawley.
Ben, what's more satisfying for you as a quarterback, the 84-yard touchdown pass or one of these 12 or 13 play drives to kind of throttle the rest of the game?
Well, each one has a different feeling to it. Obviously, as a quarterback, when you throw a big touchdown pass, that's what you're paid to do, what you grow up doing. I mean, we throw passes for a living. But when we're able to finish games on big drives like that, and a lot of it's running, that means more to me in the sense that it means we're winning the football game. And I'll always be more about winning than individual stats. So at the end of the day, that's more important for me.
Ray Fittipaldo.
Hey, Ben, the numbers for the receivers aren't prolific this year, but you've been able to, get one or two big plays to Juju every week. And, the same with Chase. So it seems like it's different from other years, like the volume isn't there for them. But what's your view about how things have unfolded for that receiving core so far this year?
Well, I'd say the biggest stat's 3-0. And I don't think anybody cares about their stats right now. No one's complaining. No one's coming to me. I'm not exactly playing lights out, and their stats are directly affected the way I play, right? If I'm not playing well, then their stats aren't going to be very good. So obviously some of their numbers are down because I'm not playing as well as I should be and need to be playing, but they're all contributing. There's a lot of guys who really have their hand in the pile, if you will, and are making plays for us. And it seems like it's someone different every week. We've got some guys that we can just depend on all the time, and some new guys are making plays, and the ball's getting spread around. And I think that's what makes it fun, is that everybody's involved, and everybody's involved in winning a football game. And at the end of the day, that is our only priority.
Will Graves?
Well, Ben, you just literally just answered the question I was going to ask. I will say, I counted 6 different guys getting touches on that touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. I mean, as a quarterback, do you make it a point to try to get everybody involved? Not that you determine before the play where it's going, but are you keeping track of who's getting what, and do you try to find a way to make sure everybody gets a little bit a piece of the pie?
You have to be careful because if you get caught in that game, you'll try and force someone a ball. And I've done it in the past, and sometimes it leads to some bad things. So I don't predetermine going into it, but I think the biggest thing that shows all that is that I trust and believe in each guy. And so really each guy can make a play for this team. And, depending on the situation, that kind of is really how it unfolds.
Aditi Kinkabala?
Ben, early in my time here, there was a year that you started 0-3, 0-4 actually, I think maybe, and now you're 3-0. What is the sort of emotional difference when a team is 3-0 and finding ways to win? Is there a different swagger? Do you take the field in a different way? And when your teammates credit you for that big difference, does that do anything for you?
Well, I've been doing this a long time, started a lot of different ways. I couldn't tell you how I've started seasons in the past in terms of records. What's our best? I don't know. What's our worst? I have no clue. I just know where we are now. And obviously, guys, coaches, the whole building feels better when you're 3-0 compared to 0-3. But this is a professional group. We're not riding that high right now because we know this week is a big week, and we have another really good football team that we have to go on the road to play. So, it definitely feels better, but we're taking it like professionals and just taking it week by week.
Couple more, Alan Saunders.
Hey, Ben, they've got 4 interceptions in 3 games. I think that's second in the league. What makes their secondary good at finding the football?
Veteran guys that are, for lack of a better term, ball hawks. They get a good pass rush. They create fast throws, create pressure. They don't let you step into a lot of throws, and they're opportunistic. So if the ball is in their wheelhouse, they're going to grab it. And so we're going to have to be really, really careful. I'm going to have to be careful where I throw the ball and just hope that when the ball bounces in the air, it doesn't go to them.
Brooke Pryor.
Ben, kind of going back to that being 3-0, Aditi, mentioned that guys are giving you credit for this start. But from your perspective, is it that, or is there more to it to being 3-0 this year versus 0-3 a year ago?
Yeah, you won 3 games as compared to losing 3.
Jerry Dulac.
Hey, Ben, you've played a empty stadium on the road. You played empty stadium at home. Empty stadiums are empty stadiums, I know. Has there been any difference?
Just the feeling, the not feeling the energy as much. The noise is what it is. Obviously, that plays into it a little bit in terms of a silent count and things like that. Because obviously, when, you've been there enough that when we're on the road, there's always it's a packed house. Usually, a lot of Steeler fans, so it's always loud. So being able to communicate is a big deal. But the most part is just that energy. At the end of the game, we were taking a knee, and it just felt like we were almost ending a practice. It just had a really weird feeling to it.
Final one, Aditi, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, I know that it's a no excuses league, but there's a fair amount of conversation right now surrounding this game and whether the Titans get to practice and the competitive balance in the NFL and blah, blah, blah. What is your take on that? And if roles were reversed, what would you be telling your teammates?
Well, we were told during training camp that this could happen if you're not, if you're not diligent, you're not careful. And I don't know what's going on down there, so I'm not going to speak on them. But I'm telling you what we were told. And we were told that if there might be a situation that if you weren't careful and there was some COVID issues here in Pittsburgh, that we might not be able to practice till Friday or Saturday. It's why they made the rule with more practice squad guys this year. And so we were made aware of those possibilities. And so I don't want to say it is what it is, but that's why the plan was put in place to have guys to be prepared. And why so many people, and I know in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure down there in Tennessee too, are being diligent in not going out and being reckless and being careful. I mean, I'm homeschooling my kids. We're not having guests over at the house. I mean, you have to do those things if you want to play the games on Sunday. So we're preparing to play a game Sunday like we should be, and they need to prepare to play the game Sunday however they need to do it.